Okay, everybody, here we go. Yes, it is me, a little early. I said tomorrow was going to be my first time back doing these videos. I needed a break, people. Honestly, this stuff was going to have me committed. I was going to have myself committed to like an institution or something along those lines, just out of control. Anyway, I'm happy to be back here with you. I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about on this Tuesday, December 26th, 2023. Again, thanks for being here. I hope all of you had a really great Christmas, great holiday, and you took care of each other like you promised you would. All of you, remember what I left you off with? Take care of each other, love each other. Absolutely. Yes, it is a day early. Honestly, I missed all of you more than you know. I need this as a kind of therapy. All of you here are like my therapists, and that's the truth here. But again, this is getting out of control, but nothing at all. Um, it's keeping in line with everything that you and I would expect to see. So anyway, let's start off. Let's start off with some economic news from today, and I just want to touch on a few things that happened while we were apart. So today, we found out that home prices right now are rising at their fastest pace all year. It's not going to stop. I know a lot of you out here. As a matter of fact, let me just say this. Several videos ago, maybe last week or whatever, I made a statement. I said that I believed we're going to see the price of real estate houses continue to march higher as we move into 24. A lot of you took exception to that. You didn't believe that. But let me explain this to you. What you're seeing here is part of the mechanism, this two-tier society that is being fostered by the central banks. Once the Federal Reserve starts to actually cut rates, and they're going to, there's no doubt about it, this is going to drive the price of houses higher. So the disconnect between any kind of reality and the real estate market or the stock market, the gap between, again, where the economy is and where everything else is going to get even more extreme moving into 24. I want you to be aware of that. Again, nothing makes sense here. What used to be true doesn't play true anymore. Hey, speaking about that, Brian, check this out. My friend Brian gave this to me the other day. Lehman Brothers, the money freaking magicians. This is insane. Yeah, they made everyone's money go away. Remember this whole thing? This is an incredible thing. You can tell it's old, but it looks like it's never really been opened except for that, maybe that. What an amazing piece here of Americana, maybe, huh? Crazy. The money magicians, poof, and it's gone. And it's gone. All right, well, thanks again, Brian. People, and I want to thank all of you again for all your support and everything. Anyway, look, let's move forward. So with regard to real estate, I know a lot of you are sitting back here in the sidelines. You're waiting for the price of real estate to drop. You got a long wait. Because central banks are going to continue to suppress rates. They're going to drive prices higher, much higher, moving forward. And let me put another perspective on that. They're going to create more distortions across the spectrum of everything that you can dream about. Carlos, thank you. So that's my take on it. And unless something acts against what we're seeing, we are going to see some phenomenal things, and I mean phenomenal in a very negative way, happen moving forward. So today, not only did we find out that this is October's home prices here are skyrocketing faster than they ever have this entire year, and they're going to go much higher as well. We also found that the United States has now, hit targets in Iraq, obviously Syria, Iraq, and Iran is going to get hit soon directly. Again, the mechanism, and I think most of you were probably laughing about this. It's crude oil. All right. It's the lifeblood of the system. It hasn't performed like I said it would, as you recall, all of you. My year-end target was a minimum of $85 a barrel. We're like 79 or so. But so I missed my target on that. But I can promise you that this is going to turn around. It's an election year or a selection year, more specifically here, and they're gonna, lie to you and tell you how great everything is, and the economy is strong. We're gonna cover more of that in a moment. Energy prices are gonna play a big role moving forward. They can suppress it all they want, but they want war more so than they want to suppress the inflation numbers. Honestly, so we're gonna see a lot more war in 24. We covered this already. War in 24. That should be a theme. In fact, I'm going to put together a paper of my top. I've spoken about most of it here, all right, in this blog over the past several weeks, but I'm going to put together a paper for all of you with what I believe is the most likely scenarios moving into 24. So if you already do not subscribe to my newsletter, please do that. People, subscribe to my free newsletter. Link in the description of this video. Anyway, with that said, I want to cover. And so not only do we have, again, home prices accelerating, and it's not going to stop. We are going to see, again. You have to understand where are the most likely places that cash is going to move into as the Federal Reserve starts to cut rates sooner than later. All right, stock market, and it's going to cause, again, real estate to inflate. So the stock market is going higher. Okay, there's just no doubt about it. We don't even get pullbacks or corrections or anything anymore. It just goes straight up. And then this, FOMO, fear of missing out, that's going to play into it. Then eventually we're going to get a drop. Drops of 5, 10, 15, even 20% are normal in this market. I know Jim Rickard's take on all this. I've covered it at length. I'm not going over it again. All right, 50% in the market. Something so dramatic would have to happen for this market to take a 50% loss or more, or gold for that matter to hit 15,000 according to Rickard. I mean, could it happen? Absolutely. But again, you and I are not googly-eyed focusing on the stinking Dow Jones Industrial Average, because that's where they want you to look at. What you and I are focusing on is the drivers of this market, more specifically the 10-year yield, which is sitting at about 390. Okay, that's not going to last. That will drop. The relative strength of the dollar will drop further in 24. That's going to drive risk in this market lower. You'll see the MMRI drop. I don't know where the MMRI is today, 245. Maybe one of you can let me know something along those lines. But as long as they can keep risk suppressed and they get crude oil to play up the back door, you know what I'm talking about? Market's going much, much higher. Again, I think it's pretty obvious. But while I was away, while we were apart, so this is some of the economic news just over the last, 6 days here. Not count. Well, that's counting the weekend. So factory orders fall through the floor, much worse than anyone expected. Economic activity drops. Jobless claims came in unexpectedly. No one expected this, higher than they projected. Homelessness is skyrocketing, and inflation. Okay, here's the narrative. If you're following the mainstream, they're trying to tell you that inflation is dropping. Inflation is dropping. It's cooling down. It's getting better. That's a complete lie. Because the fact of the matter is, year over year, inflation in aggregate is up 3.2%. You can't make this stuff up. But that's where we are at right now. And the economy slows more rapidly than expected. And consumer spending also slowed down. So that's where we stand right now. Isn't that just freaking beautiful? I thought that some of you would get a real kick out of that. Someone is knocking on my door kind of loud, and if I were out there, you see, I despise it when people do that. Someone would be very unhappy. I can promise you, if they came to my door knocking on it like that. Okay, so that better be something freaking important. People piss me off sometimes, I'm telling you. Anyway, my lovely friends, let's go back over the market real quick. So not only did we get another gain with regard to the market going higher here, interest rate suppression, bond yield suppression is going to be the story moving forward. Central banks are buying it all. They're going to buy it all. Okay, moving forward, that's their goal. You all know that. Crude oil was the story with the, now we're hitting targets in Iraq. Of course, they're going to blame it. Oh, well, this is happening. And they're telling us what's going on, of course. And it's all true. It must be true because they're telling us what's going on. You understand? It's quite a situation, and people buy it. I don't know about you, but I don't believe a single word, not even a syllable, not a fraction of a syllable, not one letter that comes out of the mouth of one freak, okay, that is propped up in front of a camera on the mainstream. They're going to tell you the distractions. What was our theme at the end of last year? Deceptions, distractions. Look here, don't look there. None of it's real. You know that, right? When they tell you that we attack the target here or there, you realize that it's not true. What they're telling you, the reason why these are being carried out, they're justifying it, but it's completely false information in my view. Until I see it myself, I don't believe anything that comes out of these things' mouths, and I know you don't either. Gold and silver finished mixed today. But what a run we've had over the past few months here. Gold put on a gain, silver fell a little bit. Cryptocurrencies under pressure. And that's it, people. That's where we stand. But I wanted to come out here. I wanted to meet with all of you again and talk about what's going on. And I feel, look, going into 24, nobody is more ahead of the curve than you and me. That's a fact. All right. We got this down. We know what to expect. War, expansion of war, everything you could dream about to pull cash into the now, blank check to fight any war they want to. They can sit back, our lovely politicians, and tell you they're really considering not funding this particular war or that particular, but you see with it's all a smokescreen. Because all they're thinking about is how they're going to sell it to you. Okay. Oh, we have to bomb these people. We have to annihilate these people too. Of course, it's a surgical strike. We just killed a couple of people over here, and it was executed with perfection. We had to do it because you see, this happened, and then that happened, and then people going, "Oh, really?" I mean, you can't make it up, but you can expect this, people. That's where we're going. Anyway, anything specific that you guys and girls want to cover before we go today? I want to thank you. Look at this. Look at this. 438 thumbs up. That's awesome. We got 1,200, almost 1,300 people here. You're fantastic. Yeah, Mark, that sounds about right. But doesn't matter who they put behind the Resolute desk. It doesn't matter at all. It's the central banks who are running the show. They control the flow of information. They tell the thing sitting behind the Resolute desk what to say. Pretty much that's what's going on here. I think we're pretty much on the same page. Greg, same name as me. I despise the fact that they're going to do this thing with the exchange traded funds and Bitcoin. This was supposed to be a radical idea, a way people can transact, outside the system. First of all, that's not what goes on for the most part with cryptocurrencies. People generally do not transact in these things. But the fact is, Wall Street always gets their hands around everything. Thank you so much. Rock on, G, man. You too. You too, bro. Ocean Whale. Ocean. I can't say that, dude. It's too hard for me. It's above my pay grade. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Jeffro. It's the Houthis that are driving up oil prices. You know it is because they're telling you so, and it must be true, right? We live in a world where people have literally lost themselves so badly. They don't know what they're doing, who they are, why they're doing it. It's completely strange. Once in a while. You see, it took me a while. It took me to get it once in a while. Now I got it. Thank you. I tell you, people, man, we are. Scott, you know what, bro? See Scott Heller, one of my buddies over here. We're not toast, bro. You and me and everyone here, we get it. All right, we're on the right side of this, and I don't care what they do. We are so far ahead of the curve. So we know what they're going to do before they do it. Were any of you shocked when you heard about we're hitting targets over here, we're blasting this away, we're murdering people over there? Anybody? No, it goes in one ear and out the other. Because you see, you and I know what to expect. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be even more so. Absolutely. So, anyway. Civil unrest. Well, civil unrest, of course, it's all going to play into it. Look, in my view, what's happening to people is astonishing. They're being destroyed, and they're marching themselves to the slaughter. They're not verifying any information that they hear from the mainstream because it's all true. You see, because if it comes out, listen to these words I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the biggest piece of important information that you'd possibly get. Anything that comes out of the tell lie vision, it's always true. You see, people believe anything that comes out of that box, the tell lie vision. They program you, it's true. They're programming you. There's all these subliminal messages in there, all this kind of stuff in there to get people to sway their thinking, to believe a certain way. You understand? That's what it is. It's so in our face. I don't believe a damn thing that they say. Nothing, zero. And you know what? With our so-called representatives here, Zoo Worthy here, I think people are starting to get it. We have no representation at all anymore. This has become a free-for-all on an unprecedented scale. And, if you understand, if you and I understand, and we understand this, I think, better than anybody else, why is it? Maybe one of you can educate me. Okay, we're going to put this together as a question. All right. Why is it that we, the people of the world, have surrendered our liberties and freedoms to central banks? How did they pull that off? All right. That's a story within itself. But central bankers, their goal since forever, since their inception, has been to do one thing, to literally run the world. And in their first step was having control of the monetary system, which gives them control of the economy, which gives them control of the markets, and henceforth the entire world financial system. And whoever controls the cash controls the world. They knew this. Central banks knew this from the get-go. All right. Now we have currency by decree. That's why it's called fiat. They declare it, it's money. They declare that it's money. Well, you and I know it's not money. But if they declare it, then it's true. Then all of a sudden, what would be nothing becomes real. The illusion has become real. And this is what we have. You understand? I hope you do. But that's what's going on here. We do not have a representative government anywhere in the world anymore. We all live under the direct control of central banks. Okay, it sounds like science fiction. Do your own research into this. Nobody. I want to tell you this. I'm gonna let you all in a secret. You want to know a secret? I have studied everything I could find about central banking. Who started it? Why it was started, what were their goals, and I just keep finding and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, and all of it is what I share with you every freaking day. So I can say with a 100% degree of certainty, without any doubt, that what I tell you is true. What about these institutions here? And they are the enemy. They are the enemy of man. I don't know another way to put it. That's what they are. They seek to rule and control us all via any mechanism that they can. And then they have their slaves who sell their story via the tell lie vision and the programs to everybody, and they buy it. And people walk through time and space. Again, they don't know who they are, what they're doing, why they're doing. All they do know is their lives are getting harder and harder and harder. The cost of living is rising and rising and rising. The standard of living is dropping and dropping and dropping. The rich are getting richer and richer and richer, but everybody else is paying for this. This is exactly what you and I, some of you have been with me literally since day one. What we've spoken about since that time. It's in our freaking face. It really is. Oh, man, I tell you, man, it freaks me out. It really, really freaks me out to such a high degree. Yeah, anyway. People, this guy here, I love all of you from the heart. Obey. Exactly. That's what they want. The Salt Lakers. Look at this. They want us. That's what they want. You and I have covered this to the point where I want to vomit all over my freaking messy desk over here. All right. They want us slaves to their system, and they're creating more and more slaves because a new system is coming. A new system is coming, a whole new set of rules, a new paradigm. You all know this, a tokenized system. We've covered it at length. That's what's coming. The more people they can make dependent on the system, the less people are going to rebel against it. Don't you understand? I know you do. All my buddies here, all my friends get it. All of you do. Man, I'm sweating. You see, look, I had this nice rest. I don't want to thank all of you for your support for that. I needed a break, people. I'm telling you, I was on the edge of losing my freaking sanity. And I mean that. I was on the edge of losing my sanity. I felt like, I don't know, I couldn't function. So I just needed to take, I don't like to take time off. I love this thing that we do together, all of us here. And again, this is like therapy for me. But studying this stuff the way that I do, it's like poison or something. It's not a good drug. It doesn't get you off, get you high, make you feel good or anything like that. It's poison. It really is. And once in a while, I need a break anyway. People, look, I'm going to end this video. It's getting kind of long. I want to thank you all again for being here with me, for your support, for your love, for your friendship. And we got each other's backs always. Will, and that's our strength. Okay. You and me, all of us here, and everyone that's going to watch this video after the live stream, we're all part of the same thing. Okay. This is a family. I've told you that a million times. This video blog has gotten pretty damn big. Okay. We need to get it a lot bigger. Maybe then we need a revolution, people. And maybe this is how we got to educate people first, get more people to understand. And maybe when this thing really blows up, and it's going to, okay. But again, not until the central banks are done buying it all, owning it all, keeping rates suppressed. All they're doing right now is fostering this two-tier society. And then they have the television propaganda telling people how great their lives are, dictating their lives to you. And then people sit back and they understand, well, hold on a minute. If everything is so great, why am I working 2 and 3 jobs? Why can't I make ends meet? Why am I taking out loans against my home? Why do I have to sell assets just to make ends meet? This is what's going on. Exactly. One day at a time. And exactly, Scott, we're not going to submit. We are the rebellion. Rebellion starts with knowledge. Okay. You can't just go out into the world and not know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing, but why you're doing it. You have to be able to identify who your freaking enemy is. We know who our enemy is, people. It's central bankers of the world. It's central banks collectively, and the rest of the shit, okay, it just all falls into place. Once you understand that, everything will make sense to you. You understand? I think you do. Anyway, people, again, I'm going to let you go. I could go on and on. I could stay here for hours with you, but some of you out here do not like these long videos. I know most of you do. And I appreciate you, but I will see you in the morning. You can count on that. We'll put all this together, ponder the things that we talk about, people, every day. A lot of things in these videos, we kind of just go over real quick, but maybe, think about it. Think about the stuff we've spoken about. Does it make sense to you? Is what I'm saying really far-fetched? Does it sound really like, Greg needs to put on a tinfoil hat? Or does this actually sound legitimately true what we cover every day? Me, my take on it. I think this is the most real thing because you and I, again, we can see maybe a little further down the road than the next guy can. People don't want to see this stuff. Once you present them with truth, they hate your guts for it. You become the enemy. You understand? Truth is the enemy of right now. And that's the kind of environment that we're in. But it's so true. All right. Love you all, people. I'm going to get out of here. All right. This morning.